You've been monitoring XRP for months, not because of the buzz, but because you feel something deeper. Not a meme currency that wants to pump, not a passing fad, but a utility asset that was meticulously planned, created, and placed in a way that would change the financial system from the inside out. And suddenly, the quiet is breaking, because the CEO of Ripple isn't talking to the public. His words, which are timed, measured, and planned, are signals. Signals to those who are paying closely and know that the largest changes don't happen with pyrotechnics, but with hard handshakes, transactions made behind closed doors, and legal clarity that moves like a glacier under the surface. This is no longer just a theory. There is something a lot more planned behind the press releases and hazy interviews. A plan. One that puts XRP at the center of cross-border payments, providing liquidity and even infrastructure guaranteed by the government. The elite already know this. The institutions are already on the move. But for retail, this is where you have to make a choice. Because XRP's future isn't about guessing what the price will be. It's about changing what value means, of who owns it, who moves it, and who makes money from the next wave of global finance. So don't scroll down. Don't allow this message get lost in the noise. Because the minute you're about to go in, XRP is an opportunity instead of a privilege for those who are already in the room. Keep looking. What's coming next will change everything, and you have to be ahead of it. Let's get started. What just happened behind the scenes? Picture the universe of money as a huge old post office. It takes a lot of time to send money from one country to another. It's like sending a letter to another country. It travels through checkpoints, gets passed around, and takes days. Everyone along the route takes a small price from your envelope. That's how banks throughout the world still work today. It's like using fax machines while everyone else is using email. Now picture someone saying, what if we made a system where money moves right away, like sending a WhatsApp message instead of mailing a letter? That person is Ripple. Ripple isn't simply another tech startup seeking to make money off of buzz, though. They've been doing the mundane, behind-the-scenes labor that most people don't notice. Talking to governments, banks, and even central banks. While the rest of the world was busy with price charts and YouTube buzz videos, they were making connections, testing their system, and upgrading their tools. This is the most important aspect. XRP Ripple's cryptocurrency is like the gas that makes this new money highway work. It's the link between different currencies, so that Naira can quickly turn into euros or yen can turn into dollars without having to keep money in multiple bank accounts all around the world. There is no guesswork here. This is plumbing that transfers trillions of dollars without anyone knowing about it. Now let's speak about the significant change. Ripple had been in a legal battle with the US government, the SEC, for the past few years. This slowed things down, worried investors, and made the project seem less clear. Ripple kept developing even though everyone was watching the court case. They made relationships with banks all across the world, moved into new areas, and improved their technology. We're starting to see what they've been up to now that the litigation is almost over. Bradgar Linghouse, the CEO of Ripple, recently made a remark that was subtle yet strong. He basically said, "We're done testing. We're going to do this all over the world." That indicates cross-border payment lanes are being turned on. From the US to Mexico, from Nigeria to Europe, and from Japan to the Philippines. Ripple's technology is being used by central banks to test their digital currencies. Banks are looking into ways to use XRP to send money without having to hold billions of dollars in overseas accounts. Think about it. Instead of a Nigerian company waiting 3 days to pay a German supplier, which cost them time and money, Ripple sends that money in seconds for almost no cost. Flow, that's a game unforgettable. And now here's the big news. He didn't mean to hype the price of XRP when he added, "We're just getting started." He was talking about the infrastructure. You're not buying a coin. This is an early part of the Internet of Money. And once that system is fully up and operating behind banks, enterprises, and governments, you won't be able to get in on the ground floor. You'll be late to a private party and trying to get through the entrance. This is not advice about money. It's just a call to action. Don't wait for CNN to show it. It's already happened by then. The big plan for Ripple. This was never just about cryptocurrency. Let's be honest. When most people hear XRP, they think it's just another crypto coin like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Ripple wasn't attempting to make that, though. You can't just buy XRP and wait for it to go higher. It's part of a much wider system that might transform how money moves around the planet. Let's start with the problem that Ripple is trying to solve so we can grasp this. The old way of making money doesn't work anymore. At the moment, it takes time for a bank in Nigeria to move money to a bank in the UK. Sometimes it doesn't even happen on the same day. Why? Because of a mechanism called SWIFT. This is what truly goes on behind the scenes. The Nigerian bank has to keep some British pounds in a nostro account at a bank in the UK. That way, they can only use those pounds when it's time to send money. But it means the Nigerian bank has to keep millions of dollars or pounds locked up in multiple locations just in case a customer wishes to send money. This old way is slow, costs a lot of money, and is honestly a big waste of money. Ripple spotted this and asked, why not use a digital token? XRP can move money across borders right now. How XRP solves the problem. In simple words, this is how Ripple and XRP function. If you wish to send 100,000 Nigerian nairas to a friend in the US, the bank would turn the 100,000 Nigerian nairas into XRP with Ripple, send the XRP across the Ripple network in seconds, and then turn it into US dollars on the other side. Your friend gets their money in less than a minute, and the fees are far lower. No need for go-betweens. You don't have to wait days. You don't have to keep foreign money in foreign banks. Ripple made that. And it's not just chatter. It's already up and running in certain places. Why this matters? Ripple isn't attempting to beat meme coins. They're seeking to be the digital plumbing for the world's money. XRP is like a high-speed train that transfers money across countries. This is why the rich and powerful banks care. They can do more business, take less risk, and save billions if they can move money quickly. They can put that money into other things if they don't have to keep it in other countries. They can give clients greater service if transactions are cheaper. That's a lot. Now think about what would happen if every bank and central bank. Ripple's technology is used by all payment companies to transport money. Who gets what? People who own XRP. The more XRP is utilized as a bridge, the more valuable it gets. The litigation was never a problem. Most people freaked out when the SEC sued Ripple. But here's the truth. Ripple kept increasing. In fact, they moved into more countries. They made arrangements with banks throughout Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. The lawsuit also helped get rid of folks who were only in it for the money. Ripple is winning that case, so now we can see what they've truly been up to behind closed doors. There was more to this than just crypto. It was about changing the rules for money over the world, and only a small number of those who really got it stayed. We'll explain what Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse meant when he said, "Are you ready?" The big plan for Ripple. This was never just about cryptocurrency. Let's be honest. When people hear XRP, they usually think of it as just another cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Ripple wasn't attempting to make that though. It's not enough to just buy XRP and wait for it to go higher. It's a part of a wider system. One that could transform how money goes throughout the planet. Let's start by talking about the problem that Ripple is trying to solve. The previous way of handling money doesn't work anymore. At the moment, it takes time for a bank in Nigeria to move money to a bank in the UK. Sometimes it doesn't even happen on the same day. Why? Because of a mechanism called SWIFT. This is what truly goes on behind the scenes. The Nigerian bank has to keep some British pounds in a nostro account at a bank in the UK. They can just use those pounds when it's time to send money. But it means the Nigerian bank has to keep millions of dollars or pounds locked up in multiple locations just in case a customer wishes to send money. This old way of doing things is slow, costly, and a big waste of money. Ripple saw this and thought, why don't we use XRP, a digital token that can send money across borders right away? How XRP solves the problem. This is a brief explanation of how Ripple and XRP work.